Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Ojoshide and I'm a seamstress based in Abuja, Nigeria, and I teach everything sewing from pattern drafting to freehand cutting and sewing technique. And on this video today, I'll be teaching you how to cut the perfect palazzo pants. If you have been having issues with your crotch depth and your crotch extension, say no more. This video is a must watch for you. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. First thing first, this is everything we'll be needing for this project: your zipper and pretty much just your thread. How to determine the fabric to put on fold is your hip measurement plus 4 inches. Hip measurement plus 4 inches. So you start off by rolling your guideline. This trouser is going to have a band of 1.5 inches, so I extended my tape by 1 inches. I'm so sorry guys, I didn't realize that this part of the video wasn't captured, but don't worry, you'll see what I did there much later. So I took my length measurements. My length is 43 inches and I added 2 inches for allowance. So what I'm trying to do here is just basically square at the line to get a straight line. You rule your length, that's your hemline, and from there you determine your crotch depth. How do you get your crotch depth? Your crotch depth is your hip measurement divided by 4. What did I say? Your hip measurement divided by 4. And trust me guys, this gives the perfect fit ever. I'm actually talking from experience. So you rule your crotch line. And for this pants, my hip is 40, so my crotch line is automatically 10 inches. And when taking your crotch line, don't extend your tape. Take it from your starting point. And 2 inches above your crotch line is your hip line. For this trouser, the hip line will be 8 inches. So here, I'll just try to mark out hip, crotch, and hemline. Mark your hip measurement, divide by 4 and extend the line upward. The hip measurement for this trouser is 40 inches. Divide by 4 will give me 10 inches. How you determine your crotch extension from your front panel is your hip measurement divide by 20. Hip measurement divide by 20, and in this case 40 divided by 20 would give me 2 inches. So here I'll just try to mark 2 inches, and you use your curve ruler to get it. If you're not so sure that your curve ruler will give you that, you could just go out by 1.2 inches to get the perfect curve. Because this is a dartless pant, on the hip line I will go in by ½ inch to avoid any puffiness or bulge. Now we're no longer working with the first line. On your waistline, you input your waist circumference divide by 4. Waist for this trouser is 30 inches. Divide by 4 will be 7.5. 7.5 plus 1 inches allowance, which will be 8.5. So you connect it to your hip line. After connecting to your hip line, you measure what you have at your crotch line and just put it on your hemline, because this is a very free trouser, more like a boo-boo trouser. Then you rule. How to pin your fabric. If you know your fabric is going to be moving all over the place, here I was just trying to smoothen out everything. Now you see what I did there. Now guys, see what I was trying to explain earlier in the video. This is what I was trying to explain earlier on in the video where my camera did not capture. So you see, before cutting, make sure you pin, especially as a beginner, so that your fabric will be moving all over the place. Again, as the saying goes, measure twice, cut once. Here I'll just basically trying to confirm my measurement before cutting. One thing about cutting a trouser is that once you are able to get the front panel, 80% of your work is pretty much done. cutting the front panel, you put your fabric on fold, and we are going to use the front panel as a pattern to cut out the back. When putting the back panel on fold, make sure it is 3 inches bigger than the front panel. As you can see here, I was trying to confirm if my back panel is 3 inches bigger than my front panel. What you are going to do next is extend the line, those lines you see on the front panel, the crotch line, the hip line, even the hem line. Extend it. On the back panel, you go up by 1 inches, but if your bum is on the bigger side, you go up by 1.5 inches and you go in by 1.5 inches. I hope this is making sense. You go up by 1 inches and go in by 1.5. Here you mark your hip line, and what you are going to do now is connect that line that you have gone up by 1 inches and go in by 1.5 to your hip line. Connect it to your hip line. After connecting that line to your hip line, you place back your front panel, and now we're going to get our cross extension for the back panel. Crotch extension for back panel is hip measurement divided by 10. Hip measurement divided by 10, and in this case it is 4 inches. Since the crotch extension for the front is 2 inches, we are just basically going to extend the line with 2 inches, making it 4 inches. After marking your extension, you connect that line into the front curve. If you don't understand what I'm trying to explain, just basically watch the video. The exact measurements we have on the crotch line for the back, we mark it into the hem line. Yes, that exact measurement, because it's a free palazzo pant. If you're going for something a bit fitted, you could just reduce ½ inches from the crotch measurement and mark it on the hem line. But I'm going to mark exactly what I have on the crotch line to the hem line and connect. On the waistline, that point where we went up by 1 inch, we are going to take our waist measurements. How do you take your waist measurements? Basically measure out what you have on your front panel and input it. You see how I'm placing my tape? It has to be this slanted for you to get it. You can see that the first time I did it, I didn't really get it, so I went in again to get the exact waist circumference. After getting the waist circumference, you connect it to your hip line just like how I have done it here. Voila, our back piece is ready and we're going to cut. Make sure you lift the front panel when cutting. After cutting the back panel, you remove it and place back the front panel, and we're going to drop the waistline from the center front by 1/2 inch. This just makes your trouser relax well on your waist. After doing that, we are going to cut the waistband for this trouser. As I said earlier in this video, the waistband is going to be 1.5, but on fold is going to be 2 inches, so that after attaching it, it will be 1.5. Do you understand? 1/2 inch for seam allowance. So what I was trying to do here is just basically measure 2 inches for the waistband. After cutting your band on fold, you are going to infuse it with an interfacing. Here I'm just using the lightest interfacing, whatever you call it. I call it ST. Waistband, then you cut, and basically that is how you cut a very perfect palazzo pant. Thank you all. We have come to the end of this video, and if you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed filming it for you guys, please give me a giant thumbs up, and please make sure to like, share and subscribe. Thank you all, and God bless you.